some people, this cheese is mouldy and has gone off, but to others, like me, it's heaven on a plate. Today, Taste of Britain comes from Nottinghamshire, where these cows behind me are producing milk exclusively for the king of British cheeses, Stilton. I went to meet dairy farmers Andy and Sue Guy, whose Holstein cows are known for their plentiful and high-quality milk. So what makes good milk then?
Well, I think it starts with the good cows, and then the really critical thing is what we feed them. We try very hard here to grow as much of the food as we can on the farm. We feed them clover and grass and a little bit of wheat and natural products.
Come on, girls, in you get.
After the girls had finished their lunch, it was time to help Sue get them to the shed for a spot of milking.
Have you ever milked a cow by hand before?
A long time ago. I did work on a farm for a bit, but I was never taught properly, put it that way.
So if you want to have a go at...
This one?
Just, well, have a try with it.
Okay, so let her know I'm coming.
Yep.
And then...
Now you just take hold of the very top of the teat.
Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry, she's not after you, she's just thinking, what are you doing?
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
And then just...
And then squeeze it. That's it, yeah.
What was going to sleep? Well, Sue decided I wasn't a natural. But luckily for me, these days there are machines to do the job for you.
You'll find it will be going into that top one. Yeah.
It's filling up quickly, isn't it? And from the shed to the tanker, the milk is sent off to the creamery to be made into fantastic cheese. Stilton was first made in the early 18th century. Contrary to popular belief, it actually originates from the Midlands and not from the town Stilton. Legally, the cheese can only be called Stilton if it's produced in Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire or Leicestershire and made according to a strict code. There are just 6 producers of Stilton who together make over 1 million cheeses a year. And Cropwell Bishop Creamery in Nottinghamshire is one of the finest. I'm here to meet manager Andy Robinson.
If you want to come and have a look at how we make the King of English cheese, then I'll take you around and show you what it's all about.
Another day, another creamery. So Andy, the milk has come from the farm, been pasteurised to a certain temperature.
That's right.
And it's pumped into here. Then rennet is added to set the milk, and the blue mould that gives Stilton its distinctive colour is also mixed in by hand, although you can't actually see it yet. It doesn't look blue at all, but it's actually in there, is it?
It's actually in there, honestly, Phil.
Once the mixture has taken on a blancmange consistency, the cheesemaker will cut it into small cubes with cutting frames. It's then released onto a draining table, and gradually most of the whey drains out, leaving the curd, which is then ready to be mixed with salt for flavour and preservation.
Important thing is we get 2 people on hand mixing to get a good even distribution. It's a bit like you baking a cake, you've got to get the ingredients absolutely mixed in right. We've got the lads here who are just turning the cheese. In this room we're going to hold them for 4 days, turning every day.
Right.
And the purpose is to lose a percentage of moisture.
This might look easy, but I tell you what, it's blooming hard work. I think I've had enough of this. Well, my work for the day wasn't over, and there was still tons more to do.
Right, Phil, we're in the famous rubbing up process now, and this is 5 days in. As you can see, it's very open textured on the outside there, and what we need to do is we need to sort of smooth them holes over, A, for presentation, and B, as the coat forms, we don't want the actual cheese cracking.
Oh, I see.
And if we don't fill them holes up, we will get sort of cracking involved.
So this process can't be done by machine, this has to be done by hand.
We believe that doing it traditionally by hand is the best way.
So, 8 to 10 weeks' time, that should be ready. But before the Stilton is ready to hit the supermarket shelves, it needs to be pierced. This allows oxygen into the cheese as the blue mould inside needs this to grow. This is completely white.
It's completely lays dormant until we do this part of the exercise. Wow. If we don't do this operation, you don't get your blue cheese.
Once the cheese is blued, it's ready to be graded as to whether it tastes and looks good enough to leave the factory. This is the cheese at around about 8 weeks, and you can see the unique bluing. And the man responsible for this is Howard.
I've got 2 different ages of cheese
Right.
here. One One's at 8 weeks old, and then we've got some ready for eating at 11 weeks.
Okay, let's taste this one then.
Okay.
Doesn't damage the cheese.
No.
Put anything to it.
We're looking at the veining. It starts from the middle and works to the outside, and that's because it's a young cheese. Eventually, it'll grow right to the very end.
So that there will come up to here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You taste it, Phil. Just take a bit off the end. Still a bit bitter at the moment, yeah, but it's still
quite young.
soft. Yeah.
It's very creamy and very soft.
It's the one that's ready for eating.
Well, look at the difference there.
Nice and blue in its open texture. It's not closed.
No, no.
It's open so that the blue can grow. Now, if you take a bit off there, you'll see the difference now in flavour from the young one to the old one.
Wow. Straight away.
Creamy, smooth, full flavour.
Lost its bitter edge. It's actually quite sweet as well. There's a sweeter edge to it. And only when Howard deems it ready will the Stilton be wrapped up and sent off to the cheese counters. There's an old saying in these parts, drink a pot of ale and eat a scoop of Stilton every day and you'll live to ripe old age. Well, here's to that.